So hopefully we're back and everyone can hear me all right. If I can have a little thumbs up from people, just because it's helpful to make it feel like I'm connecting. Very good. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the kind of like first half of the plenary seminar. I mean, as I said, I think we've got plenty of stuff for food for thought. Thanks very much for for Veronica and other people for the comments and the questions. I mean, I think we're really going to have to treat this as something that we're going to pick up and do more of later. And this is just a sort of starting point for what we're working on. So what we need to do next is it's an experiment, it's an exercise where all of you are going to sort of get put into breakout rooms, which you may have used on Zoom before. I've had a go at it, but we've never done something with 40 odd participants, so we're going to assume it'll work. And the idea is that, I mean, this is just a really quick immersion. I'm not expecting you to kind of like come up with solutions or anything. It's just to sort of have a time when you get to meet each other, have a quick conversation, come back. So we're going to do 5 8-minute sessions. So there's going to be 5 questions per session, and it'll just be a way of you very quickly sort of like saying hello to each other. But I wanted to, rather than you sort of do the awkward, hello, my name is, I do this, this, and this. It's kind of going to be based on a prompt. So, how are you feeling, Eric? Are you ready to kind of like get ready to get set? Eric's our technician. He's doing a great job. So I'm going to ask the question and then tell him to send you all off into your rooms, and then I'll see you in 8 minutes' time. So the first question, and they're all going to follow this format, so it makes it a little easier, is in a perfect, in brackets, post-pandemic future. So in an ideal post-pandemic future, how will you work? Okay, so in a perfect post-pandemic future, how will you work? And you've got 8 minutes to discuss it together in your groups. Let's go. Okay, great. Oh, what are the chances of that? I'm in the same room as Alice.
Ciao.
See. Okay. Yeah, very good. So we've got so most of the people in this group are already in Cittadellarte, but we'll say hello to the people that are. So can I hear, is everyone unmuted?
Yeah.
Great, okay, nice to meet you. Hi.
Hi.
Ciao Irene.
Nice to see everyone. So we've got 8 minutes. I might step out of this now because, well, I'll just leave it to you to talk. To discuss in a perfect post-pandemic future, how will you work? So it's kind of really the idea is to, come at it from your personal perspective. So I'll leave you guys to talk that through whilst I keep an eye on the time.
Should we record?
Yeah, please record it, Alice. Grazie.
I mean, you're recording, Andy. Yeah. I see recording from your computer. I guess you're still recording.
Don't worry about
it. Okay. Thanks.
In my ideal future, there's no Zoom.
Yeah, exactly. Hi guys, nice to meet you all.
Hello.
Me and Federico are actually really close by.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna go with Alice because we are here.
Yeah, maybe it's better that we just stay together because we have this kind of an echo going on. You wanna step on? Come here. Yeah, come. So. Yeah, waiting for him. Sit in my back. Come on. Yeah, sit there. Okay, this is kind of a nice. So, what do we want to do? Like, just random idea of everyone?
Yeah, I think so. No, like a kind of brainstorming.
Can we perhaps first saying from where we are connecting?
Yeah, sure.
Apart from you, that I see that, I recognize the space and your faces.
Scusa.
But there are some people that I don't know, so.
My headphones, okay.
Okay, so hi, I'm Alessandra, and I'm connecting from Amsterdam. I'm one of the mentors, and I don't know if I'm gonna meeting one of you in November. So yeah, that's me.
I'm in Manchester in England. So I'm coming in week 3. So I don't know if anyone's going to be there.
Okay.
Hi everybody. We are we are together because we are now in Treviso because we went in Venice for a workshop. We are part of the same collective called Campo Base with Ginevra. And yeah, and me and Stefano met to work together to a workshop.
Although I don't know if that one's
actually in the meantime we are here doing this talk. We are doing virtually a festival in Barcelona.
Well, but starting to answer to the question, I think that an ideal post-pandemic future without Zoom or these sort of things would be really great, because one of the worst things about this situation is the impossibility to, obviously, to catch up with people, to work in presence, which is something that actually we use a lot. I personally use it a lot with many working groups or teams I am part of, but the complete absence of, you know, that being together is quite hard to deal with. So in an ideal post-pandemic future, I would definitely love to work always in presence with people, and with also to engage more physically with audiences, and this is a very crucial point to me.
I will jump in. Sorry, my connection is a bit unstable, so if I freeze or something happens, it's because of that. And yeah, I'm Ginevra. I am connecting from Rome, actually. And yeah, they are in Treviso for the festival. And yeah, the thing that I wanted to adapt to this thinking that Stefano shared is probably the fact that we are now coordinating a festival from Italy and from different places. Like, I mean, I'm in Rome and they are in northern eastern Italy. So I mean, this is something that adds up probably to your conception of a future where we will not use Zoom.
Alicia, we can't hear you. Maybe you have to mute your...
Sorry. Yeah. I was. So Federico wants to talk. I talk later.
So hi guys, I'm Federico. I'm from Spain. I'm living in Turin. But the only thought that I have is, in the future, I don't know how I want to work. But the thing that I really know is that I don't want to work a lot. And I think that's important, because now we are working a lot with this Zoom stuff and all this digital-based world. I think we are working more than before, and I really don't like that. You know, this flexibility. I don't think it's positive for anything. So that's all I have to say.
And we are working too much also for Aui.
Yes, I mean.
Not now. I mean, we are still slow.
Bad.
Yeah. We had for
Work
sure.
too much for Aui.
Okay, we have 2 minutes.
We can just say to Sophie that we basically, in this room, we are all belonging to this group, Art Workers Italia.
Okay.
I don't know, Ginevra, you too, right? Or not?
I don't work with Aui, but I signed the manifesto.
Okay,
yeah, I mean, I feel close to what you're doing.
So that's why we are a little bit, you know,
laughing
kind of
about
also overwhelmed from that. But okay, just to clarify a little bit, because otherwise it seems a little bit weird.
Yeah.
We have less than 2 minutes to the end. So who is going to say? Maybe Sophie, you want to say something? Or Fernando Escobar?
Yeah, I think I feel more connected to I live away from my family, so I feel more connected with having the space to countdown.
Wow.
But having that space to make sure I'm connecting with my family regularly is something that I've enjoyed. But yeah, no more Zoom, please. No more Zoom. And yeah, I just want to be connected to people, going back into a kind of norm. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, coming out of this. Anyway, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, we have 30 seconds. If I may say something, Fernando is disappeared. I don't know. Maybe he returned to the other one. In 20 seconds, I might say that I don't know what kind of work we are going to do, because we are not still in post-pandemic, we are still in pandemic. And hopefully we'll be with meeting also people. Yeah, I agree with Irene and Stefano. So see you in the other room, guys.
Great. Okay. So hopefully everyone had a nice little rapid chat there. And technically it all worked for everyone. Again, some like thumbs up or massive head shakes would be good. All right. I'm going to assume that this is a good method. We'll carry on with it for for the next few minutes then. So we'll go straight into the next group. Hopefully this time you'll be in different rooms or with different people. But the format's the same. So the question that I'm asking you to address, if you can, is in a perfect post-pandemic future, in my perfect post-pandemic future, how will you learn? Okay, how will you learn in your post-pandemic future? And we'll have 8 minutes, starting from when Eric presses the button.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
How's it going? So this is great. I mean, the funny thing for me being part of these groups is that obviously I know everyone's name from the applications and stuff. So I'm not going to take part in the conversation, but I'm just really happy to. I've seen everyone. So everyone's off. You can unmute your microphone. I think it's all right to not do normal. This is Clara, by the way. Okay. So again, I'll give you a little reminder. It's like total being like doing a pub quiz. So in a perfect post-pandemic future, how will you learn? Enjoy your 8 minutes, and I'll remember to mute my microphone this time.
I think I'm gonna just throw this out there, but in a perfect post-pandemic future, I would hope that I would get to be in a studio with a lot of people. And I'd be learning from all of you guys around you all. That would be amazing.
And I would like to learn in a more practical way and less theoretical. I think I need more. I learn by doing instead of virtual learning all the time and watching YouTube conference and so on.
I would actually like to keep some of the YouTube Zoom conferences because it gives this perfect opportunity to pull people from all parts of the world and have these opinions clash or multiply each other's thoughts, which wouldn't be possible just by traveling physically to every place. So like a mixture of both.
I like the online version because it saves a lot of time and energy and money in traveling, and I find that hard. I'm not always so high in energy, so I've found it really rich to be able to just do it from my space. So I would definitely keep that.
For me, a more sensuous form of learning would make a lot of sense. So thinking back of all these auditorium and all these black boxes and closed spaces, I feel like we've been very much here in our heads. So just allowing different parts of ourselves to respond to knowledge would be very refreshing in field work, collective work, whatever. And also I think in the content, I would like to see more women or queer people in my university, and also the theme of ecology. I would like that to broaden our thinking about art from the mainstream.
È qua.
I like, yeah, it's okay.
I'm more into this group of people that wants to go back to crowded spaces just to learn staying. That idea of learning by doing, it's a keystone for me, and I would like just learning by staying. I think that it's another way of learning, moving, going, and just sharing time and space, but space also for me super important. Maybe it's a nostalgic idea now, and then it's not gonna be so important, but now at the moment I'm feeling like I need people just for staying.
I think for me, I would like a combination of all of those things. The online capacity to do this work of like learning what it means to curate, but then also like the enclosed space of studying like with other people. But then as Veronica was saying, because my work focuses on Black queer femmes in particular, wanting to be in a space where we could feel the energy of one another that's not mediated by the screen, and doing something where I combine like writing, the sensual movement, and so basically embodying the theory that we get to do in like these more siloed spaces. So that's my ideal learning process.
Has that ideal place already been there before the pandemic in certain ways? Like, have we just not acknowledged it enough?
I think that it has. I think it's exactly that we haven't acknowledged it, or it hasn't been prioritized, or that it's it's much more marginal, or it's not deemed as worthy, or it's not seen as valuable in some ways, and the turn towards it has been made possible as a almost like an invaluable asset, because of this new way of relating to one another. And so some people have already been doing the work, and now we're having to turn to those people who've already been doing the work, you know?
I imagine these places of togetherness could be potentially more like, I like the fact that to reach a bigger audience, the conversation has to be spread in the more mainstream channel. But what we've experienced now, we did a think tank the day before yesterday on feminist approach in the work of the German artist Astrid Klein. And we were only allowed to poll 18 people. So what would have been a conversation happening probably around 50 people or more in the auditorium had to be really focused on these 18 selected people. And it felt like these 18 individuals that came were actually aware of how special it is for them to be having this conversation in the same physical space. So I kind of like that, this feeling of intimacy and of valuing the experience. I'd like that to continue even in the post-pandemic, because then the conversation is different than if you have it with 300 people.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with that as well.
I'm thinking like how we learn, or for me it's more about who do I learn from, and the pandemic time has opened up my world a bit to more opportunities of learning from more people. Even though I was already using the internet for learning, it's really expanded, and that I would be asking myself, who am I going to learn from?
Yeah,
people on TikTok.
Weirdly, I think for me it has made me a little braver to approach people, you know, and the responses have been really quite incredible, because people want to connect, you know, so that's a really beautiful positive thing that's happening, I think, from it, that all of a sudden people are like, I'm not going to just say no, or I'm going to say yes because, you know, I get to create that something. But yeah, definitely opened up me to more opportunities, really. But I wonder if that will change, you know, again. Hopefully not.
I do like the opening up of more possibilities, but the intimacy still remains like really important to me. Like to Tatiana, like you were saying, like people who really value it, the 18 people is somehow much more rich. Like for me, it's like richer than being with 300. Like even in the Zoom space, doing these breakout rooms fosters an intimacy rather than being in the big group. So what a thing that I like about, like, while we have more access, we also get to be more selective, which has just really been incredible.
Great, okay. Hope your second group chat was also useful and interesting. Hopefully everyone sort of has got the format now, so we'll just go straight into the third one. And it may sort of repeat some of the conversations we've already had, but it's with different people, so that's fine. In a perfect post-pandemic future, or in my perfect post-pandemic future, how will you play? So, in a perfect post-pandemic future, how will you play? And giocare. Giocare. So, enjoy. See you in 8 minutes.
To play any instruments, which one of the two?
All right, suono or giocare. Giocare. It's up to you. Hello. Hi everyone.
Hello.
I hope Sophie again. Yeah, we've got sort of slightly different groups each time, haven't we? It's working. But yeah, sorry, I'm not going to take part in the conversations just because we can do some technical stuff in the background. But everyone's all right with that as a topic to introduce each other. Yeah, okay. So in a perfect post-pandemic future, I'll have to learn how to say that. How will you play? Enjoy yourselves.
These are so weird. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. How has anyone been playing any instruments or playing board games or anything? I don't know how.
I think I haven't played that much in the pandemic. I feel like I've been working a lot. Like I've been working towards some sort of post-pandemic future, but then, you know, just like getting lost a little bit in that idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, before lockdown, I've been making like plant hangers, like macrame, and before lockdown I've made loads, and then lockdown happened and I haven't made a single one. I've just stopped. I don't know, stopped. So hopefully post-pandemic I will make some more plant hangers.
Why? That's such a lockdown activity.
Yeah, I know. Anyone else?
I feel like I am still locked. Oh, go ahead, Adida.
Oh, okay. I guess this is part of the way that I kind of ended up in this residency is through like my version of play. Because my actual professional practice is research and like textual research, and I have my sort of like I write poetry and I collect art and have been trying to get into curating, and that's how I kind of ended up here. Yeah, so that's what's happened really. But I think the way that I've been kind of playing is by really letting myself go through like old memories and photographs and things, and that's been kind of nice.
you found anything like really that you've forgotten about, or?
I found my childhood journals, and that was quite something. It was a lot. Like teenage journals, so.
They're really cringy.
A little bit. Not gonna lie.
I think that, well, no, I think now what I've been doing is that prior to the pandemic, I just decided to move from the city to the country. It's between a farmland and forest land. And so I've been discovering this area, and I find, and then I adopted a puppy, like a big dog, like a Great Pyrenees dog, and I've never had one huge dog like that you see grow every 2 days, like suddenly is gigantic. So the dogs have been taking me to play quite a bit and discovering the grounds and the forests. And that's also expanding my idea of sociality, you know, beyond the human. But then, of course, there's a human history, and we are all relating there. And I'm just kind of learning how I'm learning that new territory and that new way of, like, being truly in the forest. Like, there's some bears around here and stuff. So that's like, you have to put like bear bells to walk around, and how that also then coming back and being in the computer and then doing like all this other kind of work. And so that's I guess I get too serious, and I think maybe I could also be more playful when I'm on my time in the computer. Like I'm not, I don't know, I'm trying to see how these things inform each other and how I'm living with them. Something that I really want to do. So yeah.
Don't play with the bears.
I haven't seen any, but I know they are. So yeah.
Where are you?
I'm in the border between Ontario and Quebec in Canada, to the north of Ottawa. But so there's just like a farmland here, and then in the back of my house there's like a territory that used to be for logging, for wood, taking wood, and now it's like nobody lives there. Like it's huge mountains, hills. Anyway, but the fact that the dogs call for play has been really interesting, and how that enhances another, you know, engages me also thinking, and it's all the forms of sociality and how I live with the animals that are there. Do I want to plant an apple tree? I can, because then the deers will come. And so these negotiations, and I'm thinking again of how I'm involved with the social and transformation and the politics at the same time that I'm with these very lively things around me and with me, you know, just thinking of all these different contexts as I am also in this one very lively context.
I'm also in Ontario.
Yeah.
I'm in Toronto, unfortunately.
Yeah, very different. I was in Montreal, so I just moved here learning all these different things.
Nice.
Yeah, but I think, it's a challenge. It's not something that is just given, right? Within even myself. Just.
May I ask you one question, Lydia? Did you move there because of the current situation, or it was something that you had decided long before?
I wanted to do that long before, and I just happened to do it it's going to be a year. And so I found myself here as the pandemic was taking place. And so a very intense conversation with place it started to be, and I wanted that. I wanted to have more relationship with the nature also as a person somehow. This idea of the non-human also as a person. But also, it's not just an idea, it's also feeling, right? Like in another conversation.
Okay. Everyone back in the main room. Quickly, I think. It's good this. It's like really like you don't have to do much shouting and getting people back in. They're just like automatically dragged in. Who says the digital world's worse? So we're going to have a slightly more abstract question this time for you to work on with your groups. So it's in a perfect post-pandemic future, or in my perfect post-pandemic future, how will you consume? So the question is, how will you consume? And I guess it's in your group to decide exactly what that means, but I hope that's enough to get going with. Okay, Eric, are we ready to send them off? Enjoy. How will you consume? That's all right. Yeah, no worries. Great. So is this
Hello?
a group now? I'm still seeing quite a lot of the same sort of faces. It's all right, isn't it? It's kind of like, it's nice. There's always someone different, so I think that's enough. And is everyone having a good time? Is it? It's worth doing this? No.
We better, right?
Have some honesty. All right, I'll let you carry on and have your group conversation together. So yes, how will you consume in your post-pandemic future? 8 minutes. Enjoy yourselves.
Hi again.
Hi, I'm Annabelle.
Hi, I'm Andra.
Hi, Andra.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Ginevra.
Hi.
So consumption, well, it's pretty difficult, no?
Yeah. When in Romania the lockdown started, people gathered everything from the supermarkets, and almost nothing was left. So maybe in relation to this, hopefully in the future we will be more responsible consumers, and yeah, I hope for that. Maybe waste less and consume less, with more responsibility and care towards other people and the planet in general.
And also in relation to that, like this, I said it in the second question about how will you learn? It's kind of like, you know, how will we share? I think there's something about that, like, you know, like as you were saying, in lockdown, the same happened here in the UK. People were stockpiling and just being really greedy, and it was quite disgusting. But yeah, sharing.
The toilet paper was a huge success here. I mean, we had no more toilet paper in the supermarket. I don't know why.
Sanitizers.
We had this thing with the gel for the hands, and it was impossible to find it, and it was sold on these like online digital platforms at like way higher prices. So that was very, very bad. Like, just to say it, you know.
But isn't it crazy how quickly it bounces back? Because yesterday I bought the masks for traveling, a 10 package something that was just like priced €5. And I remember the first couple of weeks when they got introduced, they were also like super highly priced.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we were most questioning about what we really need. Should I buy it or not? Just not buy it.
just buy what really you need. And also the other thing, the object you can use, the object that you still have, or maybe you can change the function of it to try to do other thing. For example, to make an artwork, you just use the material that you have in your house, or that you have, for example, you live in the mountain and you use the ground, the wood, everything you have there. So you don't have to buy anything, you just use what you have already. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe there's a certain element of needing to improvise as well. I guess if you're, I don't know, artist, writer, whatever, you know, you do kind of end up, well, I do end up improvising quite a lot.
Maybe a creative way of consuming. I don't know.
Mm.
One thing that I'm thinking is certain fear to go and buy, to be in public places, to shop, you know, and that kind of avoiding being in these places and markets. And it was happening, and it happened for me, for us here in our home. This idea that you couldn't go anywhere, that was, you know, that was risky to go somewhere to get something. And I'm also, but there's also a farmer market, and the farmer market came back in the open air, and you know, knowing people and enjoying that kind of connection with people when people started gathering again for the farmer market. And I'm just thinking of how you know, it was a moment to socialize, actually, going to the farmer market, seeing the farmers, how's it going, you know, and they were like, okay, you can pay tomorrow, you can send me this thing. And people started changing the ways of charging. And yeah, so I'm just thinking about also, particularly buying food, what happens with that, how we relate to, what is the relationship there, and not only to the thing itself or the product or the produce, but also how we relate with the people that are selling to us. Or so how does that work in a post-pandemic? How do we stop relating, you know, do we still see the cashier as a person, or we just go rushing through it? Or I don't know, just questions about that, of how that works in terms of living through the community as well, or with the community.
So maybe we return to a more direct connection to the producer. Maybe.
Some of that has happened. I think some of that has happened for sure. For some people, but you knew Amazon made millions and billions of dollars through the pandemic, right? So that's the other side of it, the internet shopping. So no, quiet.
Yeah, I think it's a difficult question, actually, because you do rely on, I don't like Amazon, but sometimes because it delivers so quickly, it can be really useful, because I'm a last minute person here. So maybe I have to retrain and not be so last minute. But, you know, I've started growing, you know, stuff in my garden. Like I dug up most of my garden in the lockdown for something to do. You know, and it is really satisfying, you know.
Yeah.
But then I don't know.
Yeah.
Where will I get my avocados from?
Maybe not.
Maybe I have to change my diet.
No, but these are bigger questions, right? Because it also applies the capital and the commodity and all these things.
Okay. Everyone back here. Very good. So we've got one more question. Are people sort of like happy to extend by like whatever it will be, 5 minutes more, just to kind of like have one more opportunity to connect with each other? Maybe this is the right time to use either some, I don't know what they are, the reactions. That would be good. Give us a thumbs up if you're happy to have the one more session. Talk to each other. Okay, and some nodding. That's also good. Great. All right. Well, this one's going to be a similar theme potentially. Up to you. But I think a very important issue, one close to my heart. So in the last one, we need to discuss together, in a perfect post-pandemic future, how or what will you eat? That's how or what will you eat? And maybe we'll have slightly less time on this one, just so we're kind of, so we'll give you 5 minutes on this one. But, hope it goes well. Here we are again, Alice. Yeah. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
So, sorry, I'm going to leave my screen on, but not be part of the discussion, just because it's better for you guys to have a conversation together. So I'll leave you to it. So, yeah, how or what will you eat in your perfect post-pandemic future? And see you in 5 minutes.
Ma no, c'è il tuo. Ah, ok. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hi again.
Ah, hello.
Hello.
Ginevra. We're all together again. Hi, Francesca. Nice to meet you.
Hi. Hi, Alicia. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Hadi.
Hi.
Federico will stay with me because
because
it doesn't
I have technical issues with Zoom. So yeah.
We are in Biella.
Nice.
First week. Who is coming tomorrow? Some of you? No.
No.
Okay. Well, are you coming to Biella in one of the week?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Unfortunately, yeah, I won't be able.
well, actually, I'm from Biella, so maybe I will come even outside of my week. Maybe I will just come
But
and
we
say
leave
hi.
on Tuesday. If you wanna meet us, come. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe.
you can go for me.
Yeah.
I think we're in the same group, Francesco.
Yeah, we are. Yes.
Yeah.
So the
what are we going to eat?
Was what we are gonna eat. Insects.
Oh, nice. I like it. Ants are very tasty.
One of the main question in food.
I think going forward, I've seen
Sorry?
I'm not making up, but I've seen quite a lot of local and community gardens coming up during lockdown.
Yeah.
Of
There's been
local
a lot
foraging.
There's a lot of food projects in my town. They're really expanding and thinking about food security now and planning, like how do we grow enough food for the whole town.
Back enough for kangaroo, wallaby. It's delicious.
Yeah. I'm thinking to live on more vegetables and reduce meat and dairy. Like I'm struggling with the dairy one.
Yeah, I would cook more. I mean,
I don't eat, so it's easy.
by myself. I usually eat out a lot. Or maybe it would be nice to have some places where you can bring your cooked stuff and enjoy it with other people. It's like a restaurant, but just a space, you know.
Like a sharing kitchen, like a communal kitchen for everyone to cook in.
Yeah, also with a kitchen.
Nice.
Yeah, why not?
There's a couple of nice community projects in Enschede, which is a city in the Netherlands, and they have these spaces run by different kind of people, and they meet once in a week, every week, and they cook they do have a lot of people cooking together. There's a chef who leads the team, and they cook, and it's social dinner, and you pay just, you know, 8 euros or 10 euros, and you share the space, and you can sit with everyone and eat there, and they cook locally, like foods that comes from local farmers.
It's beautiful. Oh, bye.
Okay.
That sounds amazing. I would love to do that.
Yeah, yeah, it would be really nice. And also, I'm not sure. I have to check if there is something like this in Turin. I never searched for it. I just guessed it. There's no possibility to do this.
You in Turin? Okay.
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah. When?
October last year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
October. Very nice month to come in Turin.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm only there for like 3 days. So.
We're going to try a slightly different angle on how we are in the room, and so hopefully everyone can hear and see us. So you're getting some kind of like nods and stuff. Good. This is odd because what we've got set up in this space is basically a mirror of us on the wall. So people that we're talking to, but I'll assume you're all there. So, I mean, obviously that as a little exercise was much more about the process of just like getting to meet each other and have something to talk about. But we have maybe got sort of 5 minutes just to kind of like, it would be good for us to test the technology in case anyone has something that they'd like to add or comments that they had from that experience, or something that's kind of stuck with them or something they might take away. So perhaps just kind of like raise your hand and we'll sort of pick someone and unmute them. Sarah Dixon, can we go to the top right there? So what happens, Sarah, if you unmute yourself and start talking?
Thank you. Yes, I'm just noticing that a lot of the time we wanted to just see where we were and get to know each other a little bit.
Yes.
And we were sort of thrown into the questions, which is one way, but I don't know, in the session about play, and we were talking about parties, and I thought maybe we should have a Zoom party sometime so we can just hang out and chat and not have...
Again, does that sound like a good idea? Should we just kind of like basically just do the residency like this sort of every Saturday? I mean, it seems fun to me. Anything else anyone else wanted to kind of bring in? I mean, or like reflection on either on the conversation or the format? We can only see a certain amount of people. If anyone wants to say something, just kind of unmute yourself and go ahead with it. No? Okay. I'm going to assume that that's all the feedback that we need to get for now. And of course, I mean, today is the plenary seminar. We've had a kind of week already of kind of residency started. Hopefully the communications have reached you in terms of getting on with your own independent action research project, and today's been helpful in starting to think about what form that could take or what we mean by that. I'll kind of reiterate, just because I've had some useful questions elsewhere in kind of discussion with the group. Really, the idea with this residency as a whole is over the 10 weeks, you're kind of doing an investigation in your locale. We're calling it action research rather than an art project, because we're not thinking that it's got to be something that has a fixed outcome or even a kind of final form. It's more of a kind of process of investigation. And you know, when you come here, you'll be able to kind of try and test different elements of either your method or your themes or your interests in Biella with some support here. So I kind of think hopefully today you've been given some food for thought around how that will happen. It'll be really nice to sort of see the Padlet kind of getting used. That's our other virtual space to connect. But as Sarah's kind of brought up, I think if kind of this format works for you, we've got different time zones for people to come together. If you want to self-organise or there's particular people people that you kind of more about this or talk again, then of course treat it as a, I mean, how's it work? You guys have obviously done conversations here away from us, like whilst you've been resident here.
It's gonna be.
So you could do the same like virtually if you want to, you know, sort of meet with each other and talk about stuff. Then I really think that would be encouraged from our end. So I mean, just in terms of like coming in, very, very much to Paul O'Neill, Harry Spinelli and Claudia Zieski for sharing some really sort of inspirational, well, yeah, both research and we'll look forward to kind of catching up with you again. So we've got another session next Saturday, which will be kind of the presentation or session. We'll see what they decide to do from In Situ, which is Ralph Bashir and Paul Hartley. So Paul Hartley is the director of In Situ. It's an embedded arts organisation based in East Lancashire, and he works closely with Ralph Bashir, who runs a kind of community cohesion organisation, interfaith organisation that's also there. So there's there'll be plenty to sort of pick up on again in that session. And thank you very much to Eric for doing a great job on the tech, and also to Clara for organising it. And it really feels like it's worked. We're really keen to have your feedback. This is obviously like, you know, as we've said, like this is the first week of a residency. It's also in quite an unusual format. So are we able to archive this chat, Eric? Is that kind of the notes? We're not going to lose all those, are we? Great. And kind of like, so, I mean, either put in the comments or, of course, you know, kind of send Clara or I an email about it as well. And we'll look forward to welcoming the next resident group tomorrow night, and at some point, you know, getting to meet all of you in the flesh. Those people that aren't maybe are going to be doing this purely at a distance because of travel restrictions or something. I hope this is also showing that we'll find a way to include you in the conversation. So we could do like a really cheesy like bye-bye from all of us in yellow. and we look forward to seeing you again. All right, thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. See you.
Thank you.
Bye. Sorry.
Bye.
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 Bye.